and now we're off to dinner with the mama. So everyone's well. Hope you're good. Happy Christmas, and talk to you soon. Bye.
Hi, Glennie. This is Joe Cronin out here in Lindenhurst. Just wanted to take some time today to wish you a very Merry Christmas, and we have hopefully a healthy and happy New Year, and most of all, we'll have a New Year that will be better to all of us.
Nothing wrong with this year.
Well for you and yours.
It's how you look at it.
That you're settling back in after being at the firehouse for last.
No, the high school
the
gymnasium.
last 4 or 5 days of the other week. So I hope everything's going well. You take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
All right, Glendora. It's Mary. I just got in the door. Call me back later, and I'll tell you. I'll explain the whole situation. I'll talk to you later.
Yorktown Cablevision.
Glendora.
Augie Doggy. Out in Mastic Bay. Mastic Shore.
I'm a little sloppy. I'm
Suffolk County.
to wish you a belated Merry Christmas. And
Day
a
after
happy
Christmas.
Old Year. And also a Happy New Year. Hope all is well with you. This is your friend from Long Island, Augie Doggy. I'll see you in Dreamland.
Okay, thank you. Hi there, folks. It's Glendora. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Said the lawyer, the bricks in the wall were loose. We have a great lawsuit. We'll sue Mother Goose.
County, did I tell you about that?
No.
They wandered around for hours, and one of them said to the guide, "You told us you were the best guide in Maine." And he says, "Yeah, I am, but right now I think we're in Canada."
I don't know if this is going to work, but I'll do anything that's reasonable and just and proper to help you reach your 100% happiness. And we have the old Sony camcorder that goes back to many years, but it came with a remote so that you can shut the camera on and shut it off. Remote. I'm going to call Sony today and find out how much a Sony camcorder costs. That comes with an external mic so that we can have a remote. It comes with a remote, and that comes with an external mic so that we can plug in a remote mic and talk to you from anywhere, and it will reach the camera. Isn't that a wonderful thing? There again, that's another dandy creation by your creator. Now the reason we're doing this is live from Glendora's Sanctuary. Have you found your sanctuary yet? Your first step is your resolve to do this. Do what? Get up in the morning and the first thing, all by yourself in your sanctuary, to spend your alone time with God. These are programs being videotaped the last week of December to be shown the last week of January. And what they are the joy books. And when I'm alone in the sanctuary with God, very often I hear things or thoughts come that I think are intended to be shared with you to help you. Now whether this is going to work or not, we don't know. One of the things you do in the sanctuary is to write down your goals. Write down your goals in life. What you are looking for. The Apostle John was walking, he was the youngest apostle. and he was walking behind Jesus. And the first words that Jesus speaks in the Gospel of John, he turns around to John and he says, "What are you looking for?" I ask you, what are you looking for? And that would be your goals. And we just put those in the drawer because they come later. Let me go over and check the light. It's okay. As usual, it's a cat. The light is okay, but a cat is walking around it. I am looking for Joy Book 60. Must be this one, 66. Let me go through this and see if there's anything here that will help you. You are my top priority. My top priority is your happiness. The time is 7:40. Here's the message to you. There is nothing for you to be anxious about. Because God provides. You will not know that until you go to your sanctuary and become God's friend. You become a friend with somebody by spending time with somebody. That's what makes friendship. If you pray for somebody, you can help that person. And you don't help that person by saying, God, Jack is sick. God knows what's going on with Jack. You pray for Jack by saying, I send you pulses of my own strength and my own ability, and I send it to you, Jack, for healing, for restitution, for recovery. And you pray for Jack by saying, Jack, get up the initiative, overcome the inertia. First thing in the morning, go alone by yourself and feel God's strength and get your battery charged. That will make you well. God, what can I do for you today? I hear the answer clearly. Help. Help people. Bring people happiness. Spread happiness. .com, will you be sensible and get away from the 300-watt light? There's only 100 places you can be in the happy house. Why do you choose that one? One thing that I should do more of, I do some of it, is when I'm with people, to cut out that tendency to talk about trivia, second rate, ugly, negative, and play the game, count blessings. I'll play the game with you. You and I are going to count blessings. Okay, first blessing, the opportunity to help you through public access television. Now it's your turn. 2, what was your blessing? 3, 4, good temperature this morning, 30 degrees. 4 is your turn. 5, for strength. Your turn. My turn. 7, for the variety of God's creation. 8, your turn. 9, for colors. 10, your turn. 11, for electronics. 12. 13, for electricity. Your turn. 15, for water. Yes, a catastrophe was the encasement of every twig with ice, and the branches fell on the wires, and the wires couldn't give us power, and couldn't give us light and electricity, and couldn't give us water, pump the water. Was that a catastrophe? What do you think? What do you think is a catastrophe? Well, I know that your house on fire, that's a catastrophe. And I know that if you've been assaulted, that's a catastrophe. And if you've had a car accident, that's a catastrophe. A flood is a catastrophe. A tornado is a catastrophe. What other catastrophes are there? If you've been robbed, losing your money in the stock market that has been ruined by greed, is that a catastrophe? Falling and breaking a bone, I wonder if those things are catastrophes. They can be fixed. You can recover from them. And another thing is that you learn from them. Very often the Christians teach that these things are for your benefit because you grow by them. Newton's first law of motion, I think. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For every good, there's an equal and opposite bad. For every bad, there's an equal and opposite good. And so you grow, grow, grow. So tell me what you think is a catastrophe. And that's one of your blessings that you count. No catastrophes. The blessings daily that you have are born, alive, healthy, food. Well, excuse me, let me start over again. The first blessing, of course, is the universe. That is God. The universe, born, alive, healthy, and food. Those are the blessings that we tend to overlook and take for granted. And then you have clothing and a home and your freedom and your independence. And then the next one is no catastrophes, the one we were just talking about. And your finances. And your education and your careers. Your jobs. And your spouse and your family. Those are daily blessings with you every minute. And those you count often and be happy about. This is all about being happy. Now, this is the last page of Joy Book 66, which was from November the 24th, it'll be around Thanksgiving Day, to the first 2 days of December. And it says here to say to you, you like not having enough money? You like having fights? You like having disputes with your loved ones, with your family? You like that? You like not getting ahead in life. You like no accomplishment, no achievement, no attainment, no bringing things to an issue of full success, not doing things, not getting things done, not executing them, not perfecting them. You like that? And just go right ahead, as you're probably doing now, listening to people instead of listening to God. It's God who has your answers. People do not. It's God who has your answers. People who listen to God and pass things on to you have answers. And they are good, but they are secondhand. You get the answers yourself, fresh firsthand. And how do you hear the answers with God? There's no other way than to spend time with God. And that's what this is right now. This is the sanctuary where we are spending time with God, listening to answers. And these answers came from moments in the sanctuary, alone with God, the first thing every morning and the last thing at night. Here is Joy Book number 67, which starts on December the 3rd, 2008, Anno Domini, the year of our Lord. What can I find in here to help you? Helping you is my top priority. I spent 2 hours on the phone talking and listening to Jim Bernas, an old friend of Franklin and the Glendora. We knew each other from editing our TV shows, our public access TV shows at Cablevision, and we thank you, Cablevision, for that, at Hicksville and at Lindbergh. And Jim grew to love Franklin and respect him, I think, as anyone would. And you can see what type of a person Franklin was by listening to his poetry. His kindness, his gentleness, his accomplishment, or rather, the word isn't accomplishment, it's accomplished, which means having all of the requirements. Would you like to have all of the requirements? Isn't that a nice thing? And excellence of mind and elegance of character, elegance of manner. Again, that was Franklin. Having all of the requirements, having excellence of mind and elegance of character. So Jim and I was asleep when he called, and I got up and we talked for 2 hours. We talked so long that by 10:30 in Suffolk County, A Chat with Glendora came on public access TV. And I could hear it over the phone. And it happened to be, I guess it was jokes, the first 7 or 8 minutes of jokes, and then it was the replay of Glendora's being a guest on David Letterman show, which is really a funny piece. It's very, very funny. It's very well done. David Letterman is a superb, accomplished interviewer, and he brings out the best. And so it's a great piece, and it's very funny, and Jim sat there with me on the phone watching it, and he enjoyed it, and it was good to see him laugh. And I think he's coming up here next week from Long Island. Go by yourself alone with God and get your priorities in order. A question comes down for you. Are you stumbling, lost, wandering, blaming God and people for what's wrong in your life? That is so sad. Blaming God and people for your problems. I'm going to go so far as to say, you may not like it, that I think we cause our own problems. I think we make our own problems. What's the solution to that? I think you can tell me. This, here. The first thing in the morning, go along with God. And write down what you hear. In a joy book, although the joy book is a daily email back and forth with God, but you write it down in a meditation creation book, which you meditate about what you are to create. It gives you great happiness. And you read the Bible. I'm right now reading the Bible by listening to a CD where a beautiful baritone voice reads the Bible. And I keep hearing him read Matthew chapter 5, the Sermon on the Mount. And you don't hear that much in churches because it says things like, don't divorce and don't marry anybody who is divorced. And there's so much of that that is very unpopular to remind us that the Sermon on the Mount is very good. Well, you can pick up the Bible and read the Bible, or you can do what I do, which is a devotional. And the devotional gives you a Bible passage for the day, and then it meditates on it. And the one I use is Our Daily Bread. And it doesn't fail me often. It's a bad way to put it. It inspires me 97% of the time. There are some things that they're wrong about, like cruelty, killing animals, murdering animals, making them suffer. These poor animals who are totally innocent and never did us any wrong. Sometimes they miss on that. But generally, I would say 97%. They uplift you and ennoble you and give you happiness and joy. So that's one thing you do in your retreat and in your sanctuary. So, okay, if you want to go on being short of money, being short of affection, being short of love, being short of applause, not being appreciated, you want that, right? Then you just go on doing what you're doing, ignoring God. If you want to change, you get up in the morning and first thing, and you spend your time alone with God, and you become a friend of God. I think you should realize and remind yourself throughout the day that God is the boss. And you know enough, I'm sure, to be on the right side of the boss, don't you? So we go through Joy Book number 67, right? Which was started the first week of December. And we look for messages that come above for you. Does your heart condemn you? Does your own heart condemn you? My heart, on the big things, but on a lot of little things, which I'm going to change, I hope, with this new year coming in a week, the new year 2009. Again, this is going through the Joy Book, which is your email to God, to find thoughts that help you. How you doing on your to-do list? Do you have a to-do list? That's another thing you do in your sanctuary. You should hear what you should do and you write it down. And you also get the impetus, the energy, and the initiative. The next day to do. You write down what you have to do, and then you write down the order in which you think you should do them. Here's woo! Here's a list of 35 things that had to be done. But they got done. They started before the ice storm, when you really couldn't do much. However, you could count blessings, and you could say thank you. I can't remember complaining about anything during the ice storm. All I can remember is saying thank you, thank you, thank you for every little favor, accommodation, for everything that God obliged us with. Furnishing us with what was wanted, desired, necessary, convenient, comfortable. All of those people, the Red Cross, who were helping us. And that was their whole attitude, to oblige us, to favor us, to accommodate us. And I kind of pushed that. I asked for a Bible. And their attitude was, we must find her a Bible. And they went out, and this was a school. And I guess you're not supposed to have Bibles in schools today. Thank you. Or rather, thanks to our crooked United States Supreme Court. Doesn't know what it's doing one day to the next. And somebody came back with a Bible, and guess where they found it? In the custodian's mop room. In his, where he keeps his mops and pails. He found a Bible. And they brought it to me. And there I read Galatians 5:22. Walk in the Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit is, this is for you, your fruit of the Spirit is peace. Do you have it? Joy. Love. Do you have it? Long suffering. Kindness. Faithfulness. Gentleness. And self-control. Do you have those things? I know you want them. You can't kid just anybody but yourself. I know you want those. And where do you get those? Alone time with God, the first thing in the morning, in your own sanctuary. On the archives of the chat with Glendora that go back